Hi there, this is Sandra Longmore, the Creating Calm Network, and I am so happy to be here. Today is a really good program, and I think you're just going to like it. So, I am representing the Golden Bridge of program, and so to get on with our program today, first thing we're going to talk about is keys to success. And that was this last slide was keys to success. So last week, some of the keys is to remember what you heard last week. And if you weren't here last week, I'm just going to bring it up again anyway. So last week I talked about how to live with feeling good and how to die knowing peace. Now, I shared a meditation last week on how to live your life as if your life wheel, and that's a coaching thing, life wheel, is all out of 10. So, how did it feel? How did it feel to have your finances, your physical health, your relationships, and everything out of 10? And I also shared about being at the last golden bridge on transitioning into the non physical. Now, you will find out more this week in this broadcast about how to magnetize the tens and a high flying vibration into your life by letting go of limiting blocks that keep you from expanding into who you really are. Now, among other things and other teachings in this broadcast, I'm going to share with you the teachings of Sanaya Roman from her book, The Oren, titled Living with Joy. And that's the book right up here, there. I'm at that side, right? Whoops. There it goes. Am I pointing to it? Yeah. Anyway, it's right over there. Yep, right over there. Your screen is a mirror image. So it's How to Live with Joy. And later in our broadcast, I'll bring you up more about that information. So I'm going to switch over here now to a different part of my screen. And I feel just like the Wizard of Oz with all these wonderful tools. So this is many changes in my own life. So the light body, it's a vehicle of light that you create that will allow you to sense and work with higher frequencies. And these frequencies are available to us right now like they never have been before. And that's what Oren and DeBen's whole work is based on. And the light body is this vehicle, and it creates and allows you a better sense to work with these energies, and they can transform. They do transform your personality, your consciousness, and your thoughts. Situations change, your feelings change, your relationship with absolutely everything in the world changes for the better. And it offers a spiritual awakening when you start working with light body. And you get to go into these other dimensions and still stay rooted in this, 4% here that we are in this body. So both Oren and DeBen are master guides, and they're involved. They have evolved beings, and we do too. We have evolved beings. We have many guides and many evolved beings working with us, especially now that the shift is here and they can get closer to us. And it's just so much fun to have guides and have a relationship with all that is. Thousands around the world are awakening to their light bodies. And your light body, you have one too, is an energy body, and it's part of your aura that was not possible to awaken before, and except for a few beings that you would hear about or read about. But now, the common man, the common woman, everyday woman, these energies are becoming available to us. And the work I have done with Oren and DeBen has been very powerful for me. And I was introduced to this concept through Christy Whitman, and she's with the QSCA Quantum Success Coaching Academy. And I did receive a certificate from Christy, and I went ahead and I signed up after I got that certificate in coaching.
Success Coaching Academy, where eager students come to get the highest level coach training and certification in the world. The QSCA is a virtual training facility where students get live, hands-on interaction with their teachers and their classmates. My name is Christy Whitman, and I created the QSCA in 2008. Since then, we have trained and certified hundreds of students who have gone on to create amazing coaching practices and who are changing the world and making a lot of money as we speak. If you'd like to learn more about the QSCA and our course schedule, simply fill out the short form in the right hand of this video. And thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the inside. What do you think?
I apologize for that. I didn't have my audio on, and so now I do have the audio on, and you can see this is the Ustream producer here. But back to this, there I am. I wanted to show you this because this is Tom and I on a cruise, and we went to a cruise to the Mexican Riviera. Oh, talk about high vibes. And we did that with the Michael Ozier, who did Law of Attraction book. So it was high vibes all the way around. So now getting back to our broadcast. So more about it. I'm going to switch over here to myself. And here I am. You might want to know where I'm at here. So I'm in my art studio in Medallion Art School where I teach my classes. The school here is a magnificent class, and someday I'll get out my new camera, my new broadcaster camera, and show you what the school looks like. It's really, really nice. So I just wanted to tell you more about Oren and Deben, but before I do that, I also wanted to share with you one last thing. And it's last week I shared with you that my mother was at the point of crossing over, transitioning on the last Golden Bridge, and she was with hospice, and then I think it was Wednesday night, she did cross over. She did transition. And I have been at this beautiful spot of feeling really, really good and that I'm in a sacred space with her. And I I think I don't know. I mean, how can I attribute this? I am just not where I used to be emotionally, nor in feeling things are different, but it feels like she's still here. It feels like she's just kind of right up in here, and still in communication with me. Actually, in more in communication than she has been before. And so I just wanted to share that with you. And then also I wanted to share with you how I got some guidance this week. So right before I was going to do this broadcast, I hadn't really planned on mentioning again about my mother, but then this came up. So it's this little slip of paper. Do you see it? Yeah. So this little slip of paper is from a calendar that you can purchase from Abraham Hicks, Hicks Production, and it has a thought for the day, and then it has a list where you can list your what you want to do today. So these are things I want to do, and these were things that I wanted the universe to help me with. So it's a nice handy little thing to pre-pave your day. Well, I got this really strong urge to just go over and pick up a book, and often I will do that, just pick up a book and read maybe one paragraph on it or one word, and I'm just like rushing out the door getting ready to go to work and teach my art classes. And I got this, go over there and pick up the book. So I did, and underneath the book was this, and it was from I didn't date it, but it was from a while ago. And so this is what it is, and I was just like, thanks. Just thanks, expanded universe. Thanks, Mother, for bringing this to me. And this is about a book that Abraham has on his site. You can buy it. The books are the Sarah books, and the books are fictional, but they have a deep message, a wonderful message about law of attraction and about the physical and the non-physical. Now, in case you have any doubts, we're in the physical. 4% blood, feelings, thoughts. That's us. But there's another part of us, which is 96%, that is our most expanded self. And in our most expanded self, we can have information and we can get guidance from that part of us. And so I felt this was part of, tapping into that wonderful 96%. And I got excited when I had it. So back to the Sarah books. The Sarah books are a fiction. So this particular one is just an insert about Solomon, and when Solomon, who is a big white bird, is shot, and he's shot by some kids. Okay, so this is what this thing says. Solomon, this is Sarah. Solomon, Solomon, what should I do? Sarah, this is no big thing, really. But Solomon, you're bleeding. Look at all this blood. Are you going to be all right? Of course, Sarah. Everything is always all right. Oh, Solomon, please don't give me any more of that all is well junk. I can see very well with my own eyes that all is not well. Sarah, come here to me, Solomon said. Sarah crawled right over next to Solomon and put her hand on his back and stroked the feathers under his chin. This was the first time that Sarah had actually touched Solomon, and he felt so soft and so vulnerable. Tears rolled down Sarah's cheeks. Sarah, don't get rumpled. Don't get this rumpled pile of bones and feathers mixed up with who Solomon really is. The body is only a focal point, or a point of perspective, for something much more to get see through. Your body is the same, Sarah. It isn't really who you are. It is just the perspective that you use for now, to allow who you really are to play and grow with and rejoice. But Solomon, I love you. Whatever will I do without you? Sarah, wherever do you get this stuff? Solomon is not going anywhere. Solomon is forever. But Solomon, you're dying, Sarah blurted, and hurting more than she could ever remember hurting. Sarah, listen to me. I am not dying, because there is no such thing as death. Truly, I won't be using this body for me, but it was getting old and a bit stiff. Anyway, I had a real crick in my neck ever since the day I tried to turn my neck all the way around to please the Thacker grandchildren. She laughed through her tears. Solomon could nearly always make her laugh, even in the worst of times. Can you understand how that touched me from the perspective of my own mother leaving this earth plane? And it just truly, truly did. So I'm going to turn it over now to my other things that I'm going to discuss. And I'm kind of hoping that before I had some video, some audio. I'm going to have to check that out. This is live streaming, by the way, in case you don't notice. So this is, the work I had done with the light body people, Orrin and DeBen and Christy, has been so exciting for me. And by taking this path of study, I do feel this greater connection to my higher self and to my very soul. And I'm really aware of these subtle energies now around me. And I wanted to just expand this awareness with you, to you, my wonderful listener. And I have found this clarity and happiness in my life that's just brought so much joy. And I truly feel that you do create your own reality. And through study and practice, you can create the reality you really want. That's pretty exciting. It does take inner work, but it is so rewarding to look forward to each day with feeling of expectation and the new discovery of joy and just happiness. So in light body activation, you are encouraged to play big. And play big because you get all this light. And you have all this light coming into your body, and you need to share it. You need to share it or you're going to implode. And so I am so grateful and thankful that I get to share all this with you. And you. Yes, you, listener. You have a mission, something you came to do. although you may not yet know it, on this road, and we're all on this road of enlightenment, the heavy things of life need to be let go because the light cannot get in if you are putting up blocks. These are things, the blocks are things that no longer serve you and your higher purpose. You truly do deserve to have a wonderful, joyful, abundant life. You really do. So, what is it about, this clearing of blocks and living with joy? Well, the more you do your inner work and you do this work with practice, the more you are just plain going to get out of life. And inner worth is so worth the effort. You're going to feel more alive and more self assured. And the more expansion and growth you experience, you'll begin to notice shifts in your everyday life. You're going to feel uplifted and able to hand confidently the people and situations in your life. No matter what's happening, everything just goes smoother. You can learn how to be not affected by other people's energies. You can just close them down, or by world events, but instead have this positive, high flying disc outlook. And then you can offer positive energies to others. Otherwise, if you don't have anything there, you just can't do it. And because you are in a positive aspect, because you're on a high flying place, your vibration is good, you will attract circumstances in your life. Law of attraction works that way. If you're up there on the high flying disc, that's Abraham's latest favorite term, high flying disc. If you're up there in the high flying disc, in comes the circumstances, the people that connect to that high flying discs. You can just try it. Try it when you walk into the grocery store and see what happens when you feel really, really have that happy feeling. So far, you have learned that you do have the power to change anything about yourself and your life that you do not like, and that the universe fully supports you in this effort. So, how do you do it successfully? How do you change this negative into the positive? Well, the ability to see all situations and people and events from a positive perspective is going to help you rise out of the mass thought forms, mass consciousness thought forms. Then that's a denser level. It really is. So, and then you can just get on your path to joy. Kind of sounds Pollyanna, doesn't it? But it really isn't. It's just plain fun. It's just what you get used to. You really can bring in the people around you, the beliefs that everything happens for the good. The more you shift this way of thinking and acting, the more others will start to shift too. It's up to you. It's up to you to hold the line like a football guy. You know, some of my little artists here, they're going off for football. Hold that line. So I have experienced people in my lives who other people say are difficult, students who are difficult. And when I work with them, I find them surprising and they really delight me. And I laugh a lot. So I know that it's all working. And negativity, negativity really is everywhere. But you don't have to take that drink of negativity every day. You don't have to have that dose because the nectar of sweet thinking is oh so much nicer. It really is common though to hear people complain and speak of being victims or go on and on about the negative things that are happening to them, especially with the invention of the cell phone. Now, I have heard unbelievable verbal deliveries by someone talking on their cell phone, and I must admit, one day when I was shopping in Big Lots, that's a store here locally, someone was telling someone so wild a story that I eavesdropped, following the person talking on the phone to hear the ending of the story. I thought, this is better than TV. I had never realized things like that happen in the real world where I was living. in stores I usually go. She was just relating all this stuff, and it was loud enough for anybody close to her to hear. She didn't care. And I thought, wow, this kind of action is only on TV. So I'm sure all of you have kind of heard things, maybe not as good as my story I heard, and I won't repeat it because I don't want to stay in that vibration. But it's a going on out there, isn't it? So many people have developed this way of thinking and interacting with others, where the emphasis is all about being wrong, them wrong, you wrong. And many people they have developed the way of thinking, and they use strong overtones of its righteousness, it's true, outrage, or strong opinion about what is right or wrong. So I would like to look at life as having three bodies. One, two, three. A light body, a pain body, and a joy body. And all these bodies get hungry, very, very hungry. And I bet you can guess the pain body has to be active, and it is fed by sarcasm, being cranky, going around in a bad mood. Do you remember Archie Bunker? Of All in the Family. I asked kids in my art class that, and none of them remembered, but they weren't born yet. So anyway, Archie Bunker it was a comedy, but he was totally in his pain body. And so often people with a dominant pain body do go into some kind of addictions when their body gets hungry. They might go out and they might buy things they don't need. They love to call people names and use words like you always or you should. But, and this is a tip here, the pain body needs other people's responses. Yes, yes, they do. So, if you're not responding or you're on a high flying disc, they're going to go right by you because you will not feed their body and they will find somebody else. Maybe go on Facebook and post something on there so they can get people who are also in their pain body to answer them. Isn't it right that this politician did this? Isn't it right that they should have better traffic laws? Etc., etc. Now, the light body. The light body is fed by more light. So it loves, loves, loves high feelings. Thoughts like joy, love, happiness, and it loves to express the positive. The light body can only be felt when you are peaceful and quiet and have a connection with the divine. The light body is very, very delicate. Yeah, it's delicate. It's not a hard sell at all. So the light body loves high feeling thoughts. And the light body can only be felt when you are in this spot. Then there's the joy body. The joy body is a very good feeling to the light body. And the joy body is a little more 4%er. It's a little more of a 4%er than the light body. But the light body, no, the light body can be felt in the 4%. That's what this is all about. So anyway, I was just kind of filtering those whole sentences and perspectives through myself as I was giving them to you. So the joy body and the light body, they really drink from the same cup and they enjoy the same movies of an uplifting nature. They are both light in nature and they settle into a clear, clean head where good thoughts are dominant. Now, the idea of negative or positive has its roots. It does have our roots in a system in this third dimension. It's called the system of polarity, where something is either good or bad, positive or negative, up or down. And because we have this system of polarity, Oren, in his book with Sanea, here's the book here, here's the book, in his book, says that he needs to use the framework of the polarity in order to teach joy. So in learning more about polarities, you're going to learn more about how to live with joy. So you can teach others that you come in contact with the positive reasons why things are happening to them. And only when you let go of limited perspective and enlarge your view of life will good things start happening to you. Your past acts like an anchor, keeping you from getting any place. And you can only release this anchor rather, anger's an anchor too, anger by letting go of negative beliefs or the memories, the thought patterns. Past relationships. What are those? Well, past relationships that you feel maybe you didn't handle in the best way you could. Maybe there's an old hurt in your heart, a feeling of being let down or of having let another person down or not doing the right thing. You can go back and change your negative memories by looking at the gifts people offer you and seeing the good you did for them. You can then telepathically transmit forgiveness and love to those people at whatever age they were when you knew them. Forgive yourself and think kind thoughts of yourself. You will heal yourself and others by doing this. The healing will occur in the present time also. And this can stop you from protecting those negative patterns into your future. So, starting with the past, every day is just this new discovery, a new way of experiencing your growth, your evolving nature, and learning new ways how to handle your energy. The past incidents were there to help you be who you are now. As you progress into a new level of understanding, you might be tempted to look back with regret. You might think of many higher and more loving ways you could have handled some of those issues or situations. Yet those incidences provided you with growth, and you now can see a better way of behaving. That contrast helped you. And your source, your expanded being, all that is, God, Goddess, and all that is, sees you not as these series of events, but sees you as your whole life, your whole spectrum of energy. And so each of those little events are just events, kind of a line on your lifeline. And your source, though, doesn't look at it that way. So you can reframe your negative into the positive by looking at the larger picture. A coach can really help you do this. I could help you do this if you were my client. But your consciousness needs to see the bigger picture of your entire life. So create an atmosphere around you that focuses on love and peace. Know that this atmosphere will help you. Leave the emotional system of the pain body consciousness held by many, many people in the consciousness around fear and pessimism. You can see this very, very clearly in our mass media. And often that mass media communicates mental images of doom. Yeah, there's even doomsdayers now. Yeah, they're spending all their time getting ready. Well, this is so invasive. You know, I even had a little girl in my art class who loves the zombie dragons. She was going to hatch from her dragon eggs she was drawing. She's just a little girl. And she got that idea. But today she said something kind of cool. She was here today too. She said, do you know, Sandra, that there are fire dragons And fire dragons walk around on the world and they kill germs. So I guess that's the polarity in the dragons and the way the kids are looking at it. I learn a lot from my students. So there is a mass belief that the outer world is more important than the inner world. But this is going through a change, a big, big change since these energies are coming into the planet. Also, one of the other things that are held often in our society and maybe within yourself is the belief in scarcity. And that's like the doomsdayers, you know, getting all this stuff together so they can exist um, when the end comes. So there's this feeling of scarcity that there's not enough for everybody. Our earth consciousness is perfectly capable of redoing itself. There are no worries. There are no problems with our earth. We are going towards enlightenment. We are not extinguishing ourselves. We are not going to fall short today. Nope. So it's time to heal those beliefs in our society. And this begins with you and I. So next week, I have some exercises that will excel your growth into a more positive belief structure. But for today, our time is almost to an end. So I leave you with some positive thoughts that will help lift your consciousness. So today you have learned that it is possible to heal and change your past memories that continue to affect you today. You don't have to carry them around anymore. You really, really don't. You have learned that in our history, there was a time when certain things happened, but they happened for the good, and it all has worked out and is continuing to work out beautifully. It's all part of the big picture. And you have learned that we are at the tipping point. We are at this tipping point for enlightened energies. And believe me, they are fun. Now I ask you, are you willing to believe in ideas of abundance, of validating your inner world, and of learning to grow through joy? hmm Well, you may still be thinking, why do I want to do that? Why do I want to change my everyday life and process? You know, does it mean I have to give up my favorite CSI episodes or Dexter? I gave up Dexter. I hate Dexter. But anyway, no, you don't. No. But they might just kind of fall away. Most TV has fallen away for me. My husband still watches a lot of it, and sometimes I tune in. But for the most part, I have different interests. So you may still be thinking, okay, we need joy for the expansion of our soul, and doggone it, I'll go for joy. It's more fun. What can I say? It's just more fun. So you do need joy. And one of the things I do to keep my joy up is, you got to feed it. I told you it gets hungry, just like the pain body gets really, really, really hungry. So every morning when I first get up, I read from a book of daily thoughts and prayers by Swami Paramananda. Para Ananda. On the morning that I was preparing this broadcast, the thoughts and prayers were on, yeah, you guessed it, JOY, joy. I just love my point of attraction and by bringing in the very things I need beautifully that will fit, just key right into my life. I just love, love, love that. So you might be thinking, yeah, but you read that book every morning and it's dated. How can you say you're matching the book? It was written a long time ago. Well, I would like to use this question as a teaching point. Law of attraction is always in the background, bringing you an exact match for your thoughts and desires. Law of attraction doesn't care. Doesn't care if it's positive or negative. Law of attraction doesn't have a brain. It doesn't have preferences. It's a system of energy only. It is like the energies of gravity. You don't question gravity. Pretty soon science and the schools are going to teach this, just like they do gravity. And science has already recognized this. So back to my prayer book. So the prayer book always starts with this salient thought for the day. And on that particular morning, on the particular morning that I was preparing the thought was, we need joy for expansion of our soul. I mean, really. Then the prayer book has several lines that you could memorize, to keep your vibe up. So I have changed these lines slightly so they fit more in with the show and with the slideshow I was going to show you, but didn't have time to put together. So the first is, joy is the root of this life planet, and not knowing the secret of its being joy, lifted its head to the light and spread its head to the light, spreading the limbs in space as if eager for flight. But earth held it firmly to its roots, while sun, rain, and air, by their unfailing care, brought it to ripening. Isn't that the best thing ever? Yeah, you know, it's got the bird in it, it had the joy in it, it had the earth in it, it just summed up all the whole thing that I was talking about. Anyway, these little things just surprise and delight me all the time. So the lesson is, if you take your deep roots in God, when you're rooted like that, you can walk through life with a smiley face. The whole world is full of the Spirit of God. Sometimes we just close our doors and nothing can penetrate. We get in that pain body and it just eats off another pain body. But then there are other times when we know how to spread our wings. Just spread our wings out there. And we find that joy. We find that open door to the divine so we can taste the sweetness of joy, the sweetness of life. You must get higher in your thoughts than your past to really change them. That's a rule. Yeah, you got to do it. This is true of any teaching. You must be in the state of your own experiential experience. Now, I can talk all day about this, but if you can't experience this, if you're not experiencing it, it's just kind of a ritual, just kind of, it just doesn't do anything. You got to draw the picture so that you can not easily say, once you have the experience, gee, I do everything. I do all the formulas. I sit right, I meditate, I think like this, I'm in the place of change, I'm in the light body, and I don't see anything changing. Well, it has to be experiential. That's the way the energies work. And so you alone can rediscover your own self exciting. And this is such a wonderful adventure. Go do it. Find your own self exciting. It's not a formula anymore. Sorry. It might be, you might pick up a lot of books, like this. Wonderful inspiration is going to come into your life, but it's going to be here when it's experienced that it's going to be true and it feels so good. So, this is the point of discovering truth. And if you are the point of a belief system that you're practicing that's no longer true for you, it becomes a memory, a past experience. But it's not this moment, not this beautiful moment, unless it is true for you. And once it's true, things can change so fast in a blink of an eye. It can change. And so live each day fresh. Live each day full of discovery. Live each day so that you can Find a better feeling thought, and through those better feeling thoughts, find a way to express them. And the universe will help you. It'll give you more information. And it's so much fun to have a playmate of the universe. So today, what have you learned? You've learned that your thoughts have to be fresh in the current moment for true, real change. And for the energies of joy and discovery are going to surprise and delight you to no end. So, in summary, and the nuggets that you're going to take away today, this is what I spoke about. I spoke about the true, real power of living in joy, and that joy, Joy, is the root of you. It's the root of you, the core of you, and your expression in this life. That's the whole thing. Very simple. Now, you may have covered up this beautiful, fresh experience of feeling joy by past hurts, but those can be cleared. You are at a point in our history where high spiritual beings can come closer to earth. But you have to be in the emotional set point of joy in order to feel and hear them. And this is so worth your time and energies. Life is just more fun, fun, fun when you're in the joy of discovery. And that joy of discovery will bring more consciousness. Try it. You will really, really like it. And so until next week, this is Sandra Longmore signing off. Love you all.